So I've seen that there are a lot of really great team profiles on the public network. There's a new feature that came out recently, notebooks. Anything you want to share about that?
Yeah, we're super excited about this. One of the things that we've been learning about as we've seen API adoption scale globally is the different types of ways that people want to interact with APIs. So everyone knows about Postman collections. This is a highly portable way of shipping an API, getting a view on an API, calling an API, being able to execute the documentation for an API. But it's difficult to read a collection like a narrative. You can't easily do storytelling around a collection. So we built notebooks, which we launched this last week. And the idea there is you can take all the APIs you have on Postman, all the requests you've curated in your collections, and you can bring them into something more like a narrative. And there's different words you could use. You can call it an interactive article. You can think of it as a blog, but it's really a way to do storytelling around an API. There's different types of stories you want to tell. Maybe it's a launch announcement. And so the story you're telling is, look at how you can actually use this API, and it's an end-to-end use case. Or maybe it's an example of how to combine two APIs from two different companies to do something bigger. Maybe it's a use case, it's reference material, it's onboarding material. It's very flexible. But that need to do storytelling is super common. And outside of a notebook or outside of a collection, the only way you can do it is plain text, which is something someone has to read and then they have to translate. Whereas with a notebook, the requests are there inline. You can authorize inline. And so you're getting that Postman client experience inside of the narrative. So you're both learning and onboarding at the same time.
Yeah, I'm super excited to use the notebooks feature. But let's wrap up with two questions. And these are two pieces of advice that I'd like you to give. One piece of advice to the publisher and one piece of advice to the developer discovering the API. What would those two pieces of advice be?
Wow, good question. So for the publisher, I would say I'll be a little. So if you want customers, if you have a public API and you want customers, you should be on the network. That's my first piece of advice. Join the network. There's so many developers on Postman. Such a great way to reach them. There's a good chance if you're not on the network that your developers are doing it on their own and they're creating their own collections to use their APIs. So just go ahead and make it easy for them.
So what's the easiest way to end up on the network?
So, everyone asks this question. They think there's like a test you have to take, or you have to be, someone has to say it's okay. You have to be allow listed to do it. You have to pay for something. If you go to postman.com/explore, on the left-hand side there, you will see this is publisher tooling, and there's a very clear call to action to create your public workspace and get into the workflow. Anyone can do it. You can literally do it in minutes. Some folks may have seen today, we had this agent mode is launching. You'll be able to actually use that agent to do the creation of your workspace. You can actually tell the agent, here's what I'm trying to do. Here's the APIs I want to distribute to my customers. They can help you. So it's very easy. It's literally baked into the DNA of the product to make it easy for you to get on the network because we want it to be easy for companies to reach developers.
Right. Advice for our developers?
Advice for developers, yeah. It's a good question. So the network makes it very easy to get started. What I would say is two things. Fork your work. It's like the time you put in to get started with one of these APIs, fork it so you can save it and reuse it later. And I would say lean in as well to it being a true network. There's all these other communities where developers participate and they give back to the community, whether they're doing it on GitHub, whether they're doing it on Slack, doing it in Discord. You can do that now on Postman too.
Awesome.
And so that would be my encouragement to developers because they're learning, they're using the product, and they have other developers that colleagues, other folks need help. And Postman's a way for them to give that help. Developers have always been an amazingly altruistic community, and Postman's another opportunity to be helpful.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Noah. I love the public API network. So many people don't know that it exists, but it is there and it is thriving. We have, I think, over 100,000 plus
100,000 APIs from over 18,000 companies. Yeah,
so
big numbers.
It's a growing ecosystem. So I encourage you all to go check out the public network today and start playing around with some APIs.